1903. A British warship drops anchor off a rocky speck in the Mediterranean. Sailors row ashore with a massive camera. They line up a family of 5, goat herder, wife, 3 kids, and snap a photo labeled, "The Royal Family of Tavolara." The picture hangs in Buckingham Palace to this day. The kingdom? 5 square kilometers. Population? 12. Ruler? A man who won an election by promising free cheese. This is the Kingdom of Tavolara. It existed for 98 years. It issued stamps, fought wars, and vanished without a trace. Tonight we're not just telling the story. We're solving the mysteries. Why did Queen Victoria care? Who erased the Queen from the photo? And why does the current heir live in a garage in New Jersey? Let's rewind to 1836. The island of Tavolara is a jagged limestone tooth off Sardinia, home to wild goats, smugglers, and exactly one family, the Bertoglione clan. Giuseppe Bertoglione, a shepherd with a beard like a bird's nest, tends the goats and dreams of glory. One night, a storm washes a Sardinian nobleman ashore. The nobleman, half drowned, begs for shelter. Giuseppe feeds him goat milk and tells tall tales of Tavolara's ancient kings. The nobleman laughs, but the seed is planted. 3 months later, Giuseppe calls a village meeting, population, 11 adults, 1 goat. He proposes a monarchy. The vote unanimous. The goat abstains. Giuseppe is crowned King Giuseppe I with a crown made from a goat horn dipped in gold paint. His first decree? All citizens get free cheese on Sundays. The kingdom is born. The coronation feast is held on a flat rock that still bears the name, Piazza Real. The menu? Goat stew, wild fennel, and a single bottle of Sardinian wine stolen from a shipwreck. The national anthem is Giuseppe humming a sea shanty while the goat chews his sleeve. The flag? A white bedsheet with a goat drawn in charcoal. It flaps proudly for exactly 3 days before the wind rips it to shreds. Fast forward to 1845. King Giuseppe writes a letter to Queen Victoria on goatskin parchment. "Your Majesty, I rule the smallest kingdom in the world. Send a diplomat." He ties it to a goat and sets it adrift in a bottle. 3 months later, a British frigate arrives. Captain James Fitzroy steps ashore, salutes the goat horn crown, and presents a gift, a silver snuff box engraved to His Majesty of Tavolara. What? The mystery deepens. Royal archives reveal Victoria was obsessed with exotic monarchs. She collected photos of Zulu kings, Hawaiian queens, and now, a goat herder. The snuff box still exists. Engraved inside, from VR to GI, Victoria Regina to Giuseppe I. But the captain's logbook ends with a chilling note. The king's wife refused to be photographed. She fears the camera steals souls. The wife, Maddalena, is a Corsican beauty with eyes like storm clouds. She spends her days weaving nets and muttering in a dialect no one understands. Villagers claim she once turned a smuggler into a goat with a single glare. The British sailors laugh, until their ship's goat gives birth to twins with human eyes. The twins are named Victoria and Albert. They vanish the same night Maddalena disappears for 3 days. When she returns, her shadow is missing. By 1860, Tavolara is a thriving metropolis of 15 souls. King Giuseppe I has built a palace, a stone hut with a throne made from a ship's mast. The treasury holds 3 gold coins, a pearl necklace from a drowned duchess, and a jar of pickled olives labeled Royal Reserve. The kingdom's economy runs on goat cheese exports to Sardinia. The cheese is so prized that Genoese merchants pay in silver. Giuseppe's son Carlo is groomed for the throne. He learns to read using a Latin Bible washed ashore in 1852. His tutor? A defrocked priest who claims to have seen the devil in a goat's eyes. Carlo's first royal act is to declare war on a neighboring island for stealing 3 nanny goats. The war lasts 6 hours. Casualties: 1 goat with a broken horn. The peace treaty is signed in blood, goat blood, naturally. The island celebrates with a feast that ends when the wine runs out and the priest starts speaking in tongues. June 17, 1903. The HMS Hannibal anchors off Tavolara. Photographers haul a 10-foot camera up the cliff. King Carlo I, Giuseppe's grandson, poses with his wife Maria and 3 children. The photo is taken. But when it develops in London, Maria's face is scratched out. Not blurred, scratched with a knife. The official caption: The Royal Family of Tavolara. Buckingham Palace files it under Curiosities. The photographer, a nervous man named Herbert Ponting, writes in his diary, "The Queen grabbed my dagger and carved her own face from the negative. She whispered, 'The camera lies.'" Ponting is found 3 days later wandering Sardinia, muttering about goats with human voices. The negative is locked in a vault. In 1923 during cleaning the scratch is gone. Maria's face is perfect. The vault guard swears he heard bleeding inside. The negative is moved to a new vault. The old vault is bricked up. The bricks are still there, covered in goat hoof prints that appear every full moon. By 1910 Queen Maria is gone. No death certificate. No grave. Just rumors. Some say she sailed to Corsica with a smuggler lover who promised her a real palace. Others claim she was banished for practicing goat magic, spells that turned milk sour and made fishermen's nets tangle. The kingdom's census drops from 15 to 14. King Carlo I rules alone, issuing stamps with his face and a goat. The stamps are real, cancelled by Italian post offices until 1934. One stamp, the 1925 Golden Goat issue, is worth $50,000 today. It shows Carlo riding a goat sideways. The goat's eyes follow you. In 1920, a woman in Naples sells a Tavolara passport to a German tourist. The passport lists her as Queen Maria II. The photo? Maria's face unscratched. The passport vanishes in 1943 during an Allied bombing. The tourist's grandson surfaces in 2018 with a charred corner, still smelling of goat cheese and gunpowder. The ink is analyzed. 1910's Sardinian squid. The paper? Goat skin. The grandson refuses to sell. He keeps it in a goat-shaped locket. Benito Mussolini wants Tavolara as a naval base. He sends a submarine at 3 a.m. King Paolo I, Carlo's son, greets the dictator in pajamas holding a goat named Benito. Mussolini offers 10 million lire. Paolo counters, only if you make my goat a duke. Mussolini laughs, leaves and annexes the island anyway. But the annexation papers are never signed. What? Tavolara's constitution, written on a pizza box in 1890, requires a goat's hoofprint for any treaty. The goat, Benito, refuses to cooperate. He eats the pen. Mussolini's aide writes in his diary, "The king is mad. The goat is madder." The submarine leaves at dawn. The pizza box constitution is found in 1998 in a Sardinian dumpster, hoofprint intact, stained with tomato sauce and what looks like blood. The blood is tested, goat, human and traces of Sardinian wine. The lab technician quits the next day. He now raises goats in Corsica. By 1962, Italy quietly absorbs Tavolara. The Bertoglioni family is offered citizenship and a pension. They refuse. The last king, Paolo I, dies in 1985, leaving the throne to his son Tonino. Tonino moves to New Jersey in 1990, opens a garage, and keeps the goat horn crown in a shoebox under his workbench. The crown is wrapped in a 1903 newspaper reporting the royal photo. The newspaper is pristine. The shoebox smells of goat. In 2025, Tonino receives a letter from Buckingham Palace. Return the 1903 photo for restoration. Tonino refuses. What? The scratched face of Queen Maria has reappeared, faintly like a ghost. He photographs it under UV light. The image shows Maria holding a dagger pointed at the camera. Her eyes are open. They blink in the photo. Tonino's garage camera catches a shadow at 3:17 a.m. every June 17th, the anniversary of the worship. The shadow is a woman in a Victorian dress, face scratched out, leading a goat with a golden horn. The goat bleats in Morse code. The code spells, "The Queen returns." The 1903 photo hangs in Buckingham Palace's lesser-known Cabinet of Curiosities. In 1975, a cleaner dusts the frame. The glass cracks. Maria's face is whole. In 1992, during renovations, the photo is moved. The crack heals. In 2023, a guard swears he hears goat bleats from the frame at night. The palace installs a camera. The footage, at 3:03 a.m., the scratched face blinks. The file is classified. A leaked still shows Maria's eyes following the lens. The current King Charles III reportedly refuses to enter the room. The photo is now behind bulletproof glass. The glass fogs every full moon. The fog forms a goat's face. The goat's eyes are human. Tavolara today is a tourist trap. Speedboats bring day trippers to swim in caves and eat overpriced seafood. The royal palace is a gift shop selling goat-shaped keychains. The throne is a plastic chair. But at night, when the last boat leaves, the island changes. Fishermen refuse to sail past after dark. They claim the cliffs echo with bleating and Victorian laughter. In 2019, a diver finds a silver snuff box at 30 meters. Inside, a lock of hair and a note in Madalena's handwriting. The camera lies. The goat remembers. The hair is tested, Corsican 1840s. The note is written in squid ink. The diver sells the snuff box on eBay. The listing is removed after 24 hours. The buyer? An anonymous account named Queen Maria II. Every June 17th, the Tavolara lighthouse keeper reports a warship on the horizon. It's always the HMS Hannibal, flags flying, guns silent. The ship never gets closer. It vanishes at dawn. The keeper keeps a log. The last entry 2025. The Queen waved. The goat saluted. The log is locked in the lighthouse. The key is shaped like a goat horn. The lighthouse is automated now. The logbook updates itself. The ink is fresh. The handwriting matches Maria's. So what was the Kingdom of Tavolara? A joke that lasted 98 years? A family of goat herders who conned empires? A portal to a world where cameras steal souls and goats sign treaties? The stamps are cancelled. The crown is in a shoebox. The photo is haunted. The island is silent. But every year, on the anniversary of the warship, a single goat appears on the royal rock. It wears a golden horn. It bleats once. The sound carries to Sardinia. The sound is a name. The name is Maria. If you visit Tavolara at dusk, bring cheese. And whatever you do, don't look directly at the queen. Some kingdoms refuse to die. Some queens refuse to stay scratched out. And some goats remember everything. Fade to black. Roll credits over the sound of waves, bleeding, and a Victorian camera shutter clicking in the dark.